So, just a quick video. My sister's boyfriend has still not been found. Um, he disappeared 2 days ago. They've got two houses together, and one of them has been sold, and they're moving in on Monday. And the other one had a tenant in it, but he was selling drugs and has left the house in an absolute tip. It is livable, but it's not going to be a nice place to live because it needs a lot of work. I think it would be better if there was furniture in it and stuff, but the kitchens and the bathrooms, it's hasn't been looked after at all, and I think this is another problem, another reason why there's just uh, the guy that I spoke to, the lot guy, he said, why don't you just take the money off the rich and spread it around and equally divide it everywhere? And I've heard this theory quite a few times. It's not that there's not enough money in the world, it's just that the rich are holding it and the poor are not getting it. But no, that is not the truth. If you see this place and just think that some people choose to have it like this. Now, if he's selling drugs, he must be making a lot of money. So he must be pretty rich, and yet he still treats his house like shit. And, the problems of this world is mostly the problems with the state of the human mind and the human ability to care for others, or to care for themselves, or to care for their properties, or to care for other people's properties, to care for the planet. Having children is the most damaging thing you could do to the planet. And there's so many people that would have like 6, 7, 8 kids and think that they're doing the world a favor because, wow, they can't kill, an abortion is killing, and I don't want to kill. So instead of killing, they would have so many kids, and then they think, well, I've only got like 50,000 in the bank, and okay, yeah, I'm, I'll do this, and it'll be fine. But you can't afford to give a good life to 6 kids if you haven't got much money and stuff. And it's just, people who don't have money feel stressed and poor and horrible. And if you're having 6 kids and you yourself are poor, then you've basically just forced 6 more kids into a sort of poor state that you're in. And it's, if you had two, then you can. I don't agree with one. I don't think the one policy is okay, but I do understand that there's a lot of people in China, so maybe the one might have been. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. But they probably should have dealt with the population thing a lot earlier. And just there's so many people everywhere, and so many people just treat others like shit. And it's just, you know, if the wealth was equally distributed, there would still be people desperately trying to make sure that whatever they have, it's more than everyone else, and they would do whatever it is to get that. And there'd be people, all the people that have money to have 6, 7 kids, that would be what their choice would be. And then suddenly there'd need to be another divide because, wow, all the poor have got all these kids like little rabbits or whatever. And now you have to do an equal design. The more kids you have, the less everyone has, because if you equally divided it, the more you have, the less everyone has. And well, I don't know, just the fact that there's 8 or 7 billion people here. I'm really hoping that there's less, and maybe I just don't know. But yeah, if the more kids you have, and if you equally divided it between everyone, the more kids there are, the less everyone will have. And if the less everyone have, and people won't spend it in the right ways. The ones that are smart and intelligent knows how to create huge businesses for people and give people jobs and stuff. The ones that have brains, okay, it's not always the most richest that are the most intelligent, but it's they need the ones that can give opportunities to others and manage a lot of people. There's some companies where they literally, the owners have 500-600 people, workers working for them, and they can manage that, and they can run the company, and they can do what they're doing because they're doing their job, and then the little bosses are doing their job for the other. It's a sequel. But some companies, the people who run them aren't as good as organizing it. And well, if you gave everyone equal amounts of money, it just wouldn't work. Going back to what's happened to my sister, I don't really know. I know that she's now just been given the key to this damaged house, and she's pregnant in February. She's going to be born. The baby's going to be born in February, and the partner has now disappeared. Now, my theory is that he has been raptured by the Illuminati. That's the only thing that makes sense. I believe that his spirit can connect with me. The first time he stayed, I think, did he stay the night? I think he stayed the night. He went to my granny's as well, but he came to my house, and he bought some gin. If you take off the G, it says in, and it was pink as well. It was nice, a nice bottle. And he also had a statue of Mary, and he kind of wanted to know if my granny would want that. Said that she's Christian, so she doesn't actually like statues of Mary. But I said that I liked it, and I did. So, I don't know if I'd necessarily wanted it, but it was a nice gesture and a nice thought, and it almost felt like he knew that I was Mary. And when they went on holiday, with my sister and him went on holiday, he sent me quite a funny picture of my sister standing next to a scarecrow statue thing, scarecrow, and he was the one that doesn't have a brain, and it's just like, yeah, my sister doesn't have a brain. And yeah, it was almost like he knew that I thought Sophie was stupid and sent me that picture because he knew that I would find it funny, which I did. And yeah, I don't know, but I feel like my spirit his spirit was able to connect with me. And I also, when that night when he was just talking to my sister, and we were sharing a bed together because I was in my parents' house, we were together. Yeah, he was talking to Sophie, and I was like awake and sleep, wake and sleep. But it felt like he was talking to me more than her, because Sophie wasn't actually saying anything; she was just grumbling. But I don't know what's happened. His car was found at Devil's Dyke, and Devil's Dyke is a place known for suicide, and he hasn't been seen in 2 days. And he was supposed to just go off and get some paint. Although why he's going to go off and get some paint and ended up traveling an hour or two to a random cliff edge park to do a walk. Maybe he was just stressed over how messy the house was left, and these people hadn't looked after the house at all, and there's holes in the ceiling and in the walls, and the doors have been cut. There's one door in the hallway and one's been half chopped off to allow drugs to be put in, and there's also drug canisters in there as well, and I don't know. Yeah, it's a fixer-upper, but he's a builder. He likes fixing up things. So to me, I wouldn't have seen any reason to actually commit suicide. It's not terribly bad. It's not like rats in the sofa. There wasn't any sofas. It's not like there was. I didn't see a rat. I don't know. But if you've just received your house back after not having it for a long time because it's been rented out, and then I'm sure he likes the project. So I don't necessarily see enough reason for him to want to commit suicide. But his car has been abandoned. And so my theory is that the Illuminati have got him, or maybe he's woken up, or maybe the Illuminati people ask him questions about what's going on, and he's sort of started to realize, or maybe he's seen my Facebook page. Maybe he's seen my Facebook page, knows that I'm God, and realizes that Sophie is obviously someone who's not able to believe anything because she's an idiot. And then maybe he's gone into hiding because he thinks that it's best for me. Because Sophie, I don't know, but I feel like Sophie's going to kill herself soon. Like, I don't think she's going to live much longer. She's had so many chances, and even now, I told her the possibility that he's actually knows he's part of the Illuminati and knows that I'm, he's found out that I'm God, and he's been told as part of the covenant that he has to stay away from me and anyone else I know, e.g. her. And I've got a feeling that could have happened to George. I really don't know. I do not know what's happened to George, but they were so close for so long, and now he's just wanting nothing to do with her. And is it just because he's an arsehole? Is it because he's feeling the spirit, and the spirit is telling me that I'm not allowed to have anything to do with Blake, which is why I hate him? But yeah, I don't know. But I am seeing his name in negative ways quite a lot now. So, but I don't know what's going on. I try and stay positive. But I like this guy a lot more than George. I know that. And, if he has died or if he has committed suicide, I would feel a bit bad. Like, oh, I should have tried to reach out to him, but I couldn't reach out to him because I just feel so angry at my sister for rejecting everything that I say. And, even I've told her the possibility that he's gone into hiding, and he's going, like Joseph and Mary, he'll come back after the birth of Sophie's or something. He'll meet Sophie again after the birth or something. But I don't really know. Sophie didn't believe me. She was just like, oh yeah, that sounds a bit like the apple in a box theory. Well, you put an apple in a box and then you just leave it there for eternity. And what does it turn into? Does it turn into a kettle or a lamppost or a light bulb? She literally said that. That was her response to the possibility that there is actually, I am God. There is an Illuminati group that are doing things about me behind my back, and maybe he's just found out and they've told him to, nobody's been found yet. And I'm sure that they've been looking for almost 2 days, a day and a half now, and he's just, he's not picking up his phone, although if his phone was still ringing yesterday. But I don't know. I don't know what's happened. But there was no indication that he wasn't going to be staying the night back at where they were living, because they've been living together for over a year. So you don't just walk out unless your sister's God, and weird things are happening. But yeah, my sister was just completely unable to accept that anything that I said was true. The likeliness of me being God and there being an Illuminati people is so unlikely. It's just as likely as you putting an apple in a box and thinking that it might turn into a kettle if you leave it there long enough. Seriously, what is wrong with that? Her brain.